Citizens are continuously breaking the law. Some get arrested, some get away with it, and some, shockingly, attempt to bribe their way out by seducing the cops that are arresting them. Let's not waste any more time and jump straight into the video. Starting off, we have this lady who is suspected to be driving under the influence. She gets escorted by a cop, dropping her off at the station, and tries to seduce him on the way. This is what happens.
But the only protection this woman needed was from herself. The officer politely declined her advances, and she was later booked on a charge of driving while inebriated.
This attractive woman also gets pulled over on suspicion of DUI. As she was getting arrested, she tried to seduce the officer, then quickly changed her answer as the officer asked her to repeat herself.
Face the car and put your hands behind your back. Don Williams, Officer Don Williams.
Never had a scene. I have had 4 seizures in my life.
I realize that tonight. I believe you're too intoxicated to be driving.
I'm really not.
Turn around, I got 50 steps, okay?
Is there any way that we can sell this to check?
Through what?
Up next, while on the job, a flirty passenger sweet talks her way with this Ohio State Trooper who actually gives into it and continues to lure and bag the passenger at a traffic stop. But it does not end well for this officer after pulling this stunt.
You don't know.
1 second here.
It's a black car.
1 second here.
It seems like there's a common link between alcohol and citizens attempting to seduce officers. This is what happens when you use "I'm drunk" as an excuse on your birthday.
Now your DWI too.
Please don't do that.
I'm not. Stop talking.
I don't have no STDs.
Stop talking.
I swear.
Stop talking. Stop. Stop.
I will. Please.
Stop.
My kid.
I don't care. Turn around.
I'm drunk. You want me to go to jail? Seriously, come on. I have no STDs.
Here we have a full video of how the drunken birthday girl initially ran away and still got caught and further attempted to seduce the police officer. This is how it turned out.
Don't do that.
No.
I'm not.
Stop talking.
I don't have no STDs.
Stop talking.
I swear.
Stop talking. Stop. Stop.
I will. Escape. Please.
Stop.
My kid.
I don't care. Turn around.
I'm drunk. You want me to go to jail? Seriously, come on. I have no STDs. Let me
And
go.
we'll clear the net. Go ahead and bring
Just say
someone else out here too. Stop talking.
I will not do this no more. Please. I need to get back to my kids. I'm drunk. Dude, this is racist. Please, you know this. Please. Please don't let me go to jail.
Get in.
I'm a good...
Get in.
This dash cam recorded live footage from an officer pulling this lady over for speeding, and she tried to bribe her way out of it by seducing this married officer. But things didn't go as planned as she thought.
It's my wedding ring with her finger. She says, "I know you're married. Have you ever cheated on your wife?"
It all started here on Prospect Avenue in Hampton when Lieutenant Donaldson tracked a driver going 42 miles per hour in a 30 zone. When he pulled this woman, Becky Tillman of Hampton, over for speeding on Tuesday, he says she tried to bribe him to get out of the ticket, and it was all caught on his dash cam video.
You could have gave me a break. We could have worked it out in trade, you know what I mean?
Are you talking about something sexual? I mean, I just came out and said that. And she says, "We can do it in the back of your car."
Then where are we going to go? In the car.
Tillman said she'd do anything to get out of the $191 ticket. She left after getting the ticket, but just a few minutes later, Donaldson says she came back, flagged him down, and made the offer again.
It's like demeaning to me. It's demeaning to every officer.
The next day, the police chief reviewed the tape and agreed Donaldson should arrest Tillman. But when Donaldson went to her house, she thought he was there to pursue her.
Put her in handcuffs and put her in the back of the car. I think she still was under the impression that this was a game.
Donaldson says once she realized she was in trouble, Tillman claimed it was all a joke. But he says
this citizen is highly intoxicated and trying to make out with this cop. Luckily, the cop is very understanding of the situation.
All right, not me.
I told the kitty go out.
All right, let's get out of here. She's feeling real friendly tonight. You're staying home tonight. Okay, bye. Where are you going, sweetie?
No.
Just take it easy tonight. Go watch a movie and have some coffee. Or take a nap.
I will love it in Paris.
Okay. All right.
Tell the big buses I buy.
You got a lot to drink. Just go sleep it off, okay? All right. Good night. Let's go.
This Florida woman arrested for DUI and drug possession offered to perform sexual activities in an exchange to drop her charges.
They say the third time's the charm, but in this case it didn't work. A Florida woman arrested for drunk driving and drug possession offered to perform oral to 3 different officers if they would drop the charges. Police said Arielle Engert was pulled over and charged with drunk driving. She allegedly failed a series of field sobriety tests, and her blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. When Engert was taken to the county jail, officers discovered a small bag of cocaine in her bra. While being processed for the 2 crimes, she allegedly tried to play Let's Make a Deal and offered to perform oral if a deputy dropped the charges, but it didn't work. According to the report, Engert then offered this same deal to 2 other deputies, but when she got rejected, police added 3 counts of bribery to her rap sheet. Engert was released after posting $5,150 bond.
Up next is a Hooters waitress with a suspended license and DUI. This Halloween party was definitely one for her to remember.
39, 38, 37, 36, 6, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28.
Okay. What number, do you remember what number I told you to start and stop on?
You said start at 38 and then start at 49 and I forgot what the second one. So okay. I just didn't really.
Just do me a favor, put your hands behind your back, put your palms together like you're praying. You're under arrest for DUI. Okay?
Yeah.
DUI.
But I'm not drunk or anything.
Okay, I'll explain it all to you, mate. Just look back forward. I'm going to take your watch off, okay?
But I did everything that you asked me to, right?
You did everything that I asked you to, but all those exercises you performed,
yeah, I
look for indicators of impairment, okay? And tonight, you have exhibited enough indicators of impairment to believe you are not safe to operate a motor vehicle, okay?
This officer's body cam recorded footage of the same citizen attempting to bribe the cop after her Halloween party by seducing them and saying, "I'll take everything off," to them.
Please, sir, please. I'll take everything off. Please don't charge me, but I don't want to go to jail. Please, sir.
I don't want you to take everything off.
Please, sir, not tonight, please.
I'm gonna.
I promise I'll have somebody pick me up and drive me home. I promise.
I'm gonna show you a little bit of decency and cover you up a little bit. You don't want to go into jail looking like that.
Please. Please.
Ma'am, there's nothing we can do. It is completely out of our hands, okay?
Yeah, but you can make a decision about arresting me. I promise I'll have somebody drive me home. I promise, please.
We didn't do this. You put yourself in this situation.
This lady also tried to seduce an officer, but instead just got herself into more trouble.
And took her to jail. She allegedly offered to go home with a deputy, promising she'd do very special things and offered him sexual favors.
That also, because she's offering her body as payment for turning the other way.
But officers didn't turn the other way, and now Cooley is facing a slew of charges.
Now you just have more charges. Wonder if it was really worth it.
Cooley now faces a variety of charges, including...
Police Chief Kenny Payne is under a criminal investigation tied to allegations he solicited a sexual favor in exchange for getting a woman's boyfriend out of trouble. This is how things ended for this officer.
Filed a complaint against Payne after she says he asked for oral after her boyfriend was arrested.
So used to doing it and getting away with it.
The request happened at the Plaquemine Police Department when she says Payne summoned her there to talk about her boyfriend's case.
He did make me show him my phone when I first got in there to make sure my phone was off. Nothing could be recorded or anything, because he said that this could jeopardize not just his job, but his whole life.
That's when she says Payne quickly crossed the line.
He said, I know you're willing to do anything to get him out. He took a sticky note off of the lady's desk. It was, it was a big pack. And he wrote, will you give me a BJ to get him out of trouble? He took that sticky note off of there and he did this, showed it to me.
She says his demands didn't end there.
At the end of me trying to get out of the room, I was up against the wall and he was in front of me. And he said, I need to see your breast. I said, Mr. Kenny, I can't do that. He said, I need to see him now. I proceeded to show him. We left out, but he wouldn't let me go out the front. He made me go out the side door.
Payne's alleged victim says she showed him her breasts and felt so humiliated and disgusted, she went to the Iberville Parish Sheriff's Office and filed a report against Payne, which was ultimately turned over to the Attorney General's office.
I left, and he kept on calling me, telling me he had more stuff for me. Please call him back. He just kept on calling me, and I blocked him on everything.
Following the report she made, she hadn't heard of much else until the WBRZ investigative unit broke the story last week, which exposed the Attorney General's office was now investigating her claims. Problem is, sources say Payne erased his phone, making it tough to corroborate anyone's story. 2 months ago, the WBRZ investigative unit began requesting details about an investigation into Payne through the Attorney General's office. The AG responded with this information. Our office has found records responsive to your request. These records are exempt from disclosure as records pertaining to pending or anticipated criminal litigation.
Kenny, when we talked to him on the phone, said that all of this is a fabrication. It's not true.
Mr. Chris, the thing is I feel like if I'm making this up, why would I go into details of how he did this? This didn't help my boyfriend get out of trouble. This didn't help anything. This is what he did to me. I have to live with this, what I did. And he don't understand that. I mean, I'm not the only person he did this to. I'm the only person that came forward and pushed it. That's the only reason. He thinks this is just gonna go away, and I'm not letting it go away. Not this time, I'm not.
The woman recalls Payne telling her not to tell anyone.
He did this
when she left the police department that day.
He told me before I left out the room, he's like, if you say anything, I'm not just gonna lose my job, I'm gonna lose my family too. Well,
up next is another situation where the tables have turned. A Nassau County police officer has been accused of forcing a woman into touching him sexually during a traffic stop. This is what happens.
Sexual favors. He swore an oath to protect and serve, but tonight one of Nassau County's finest is under arrest himself, accused of using his position of power to solicit. Defense attorney Bill Petrillo represents Officer Garrett Manners and says the veteran cop is innocent, but prosecutors say they have proof. It allegedly started here on Hempstead Turnpike in East Meadow back in February when Manners pulled over a car with 3 women inside and gave the driver a breathalyzer test. According to the criminal complaint, he then ordered a female passenger to step out of the vehicle and follow him to his unmarked car and asked her such questions as, how short is that dress when you bend over? And are you into married men? Manners allegedly told the woman her friend was borderline on the breathalyzer and that if the passenger did something for him, he'd let her friend go. The complaint alleges Manners then grabbed the woman's hand and forced her to fondle him through his clothes and then allowed all 3 women to drive away. Hours later, prosecutors say Manners placed 2 phone calls to the passenger, who allegedly recorded him trying to set up a meeting. That meeting never happened.
In this case, we have a local masseuse accused of taking her top off and offering an undercover deputy sexual favors in exchange for money.
Of taking off her top and offering an undercover deputy sexual favors in exchange for money. Lee County deputies arresting Sonia Roberge at Deja Vu on Pondella Road in North Fort Myers. Detectives say the operation was advertised on Backpage.com. It's a website known for offering sex. According to a police report, Roberge took $160 for the 45-minute massage, during which police say she pulled her shirt down showing her breasts and began moving her hand toward the deputy's private parts. Roberge was arrested for prostitution.
Here we have another police officer accused of pressuring a woman for oral to avoid arrest.
Borough police officer tonight. He's accused of pulling a woman over and asking her to perform a sex act on him to get out of being arrested. Newswatch 16's Jessica Albert spoke with the chief today. She's live in the Wyoming Valley newsroom now. Jessica.
Julie, that officer, Mark Eicher, has been suspended while the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office investigates. He's being charged with oppression and coercion. This is Mark Eicher. Since March, he has served as a part-time police officer in Ashley, but now Eicher is the one in trouble with the law. He's accused of pulling over a woman and then pressuring her for oral.
We're very troubled, very upset by the allegations that came forward. It's an ongoing investigation, so there's not a lot that I could comment on.
Court papers say Eicher pulled the woman over in Ashley earlier this month for a suspected DUI. The woman, who admitted to being out on bail at the time, says Eicher told her she would go to jail for violating her bail conditions. The paperwork goes on to say that Eicher told the woman he would not arrest her if she performed the act, which she says happened at this park in the borough.
This Mississippi cop was caught on video soliciting a teenage girl for sex while on duty.
Go to a room. Oh, shit, ain't nobody gonna know what we do in the room. I'm gonna take care of you, so.
You can take care of me, but I don't go to room.
Okay, well, where the hell you go? How you do grown folk shit then? What are you talking about you gonna go to room?
Okay, you act like I can't stand here and talk to you.
Oh, cool. I mean, I ain't talking about talking shit. I wanna do more than talking.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, so you saying you ain't.
I'm dead serious, but I'm gonna call you, okay? I ain't sure ain't.
New tonight, a Jackson police officer under fire after a video on social media shows him flirting with a female on the job.
Now, Jackson police have launched an investigation into that behavior. Our Annette Pegler spoke exclusively to Jackson police about the contents. Annette?
Melissa, Chief Lee Vance is disappointed in the action shown by the officer in this video. I'm told that officer has been relieved of his official police duties and reassigned in the department while this investigation is ongoing.
Man, I ain't scared the with nobody. What you talking about?
Okay, well, why you act like you can't go to a room? Oh, shit, nobody gonna know what we do in the room.
I don't know.
I'm gonna take care of you, so.
You can take care of me, but I don't go to room.
Okay, well, where the hell you go? How you do grown folk then? What are you talking about you gonna go to room?
This video was shared with our newsroom on Facebook. It shows a Jackson police officer coming on to a female while he's patrolling.
Chief Vance finds this video to be very disturbing. He has a zero tolerance policy for any type of behavior that is obviously displayed on this video itself.
I ain't talking about talking. I want to do more than talking.
I don't know what you mean.
Chief Vance has launched an internal investigation into this and says this behavior is not accepted in his department.
The officer has been identified as Officer Darrell Stasher. He is a member of the Jackson Police Department Patrol Division. He's been employed at least 8 years with the Jackson Police Department.
We talked to the female who shared this video to us on the phone. She says she is 17.
No one has come forward to the Jackson Police Department and filed a complaint as the individual that was
A Florida woman here was arrested after she placed a fake 911 call, then propositioned the responding officer by seducing him for sex.
When there wasn't exactly an emergency.
911, where's your emergency?
There's some emergency. I need to ask you a question.
Maria Montana's colon was allegedly drunk when she asked the responding police officer.
I'm assuming the alcohol, forced her to, or coerced her to call 911 and ask her questions.
Police say Maria asked the operator about a Corvette, but when the officer arrived at her home, it was clear she had been drinking.
She got away from the questions and and trying to get a little personal with our officer, in which, you know, he had no part of.
They said she grabbed the officer's arm and rubbed his chest, indicating she wanted more.
911, where is your emergency?
Maria was given a warning, but that didn't stop her calling again the same night.
It's disturbing. It's a little scary. It's using police resources unnecessarily.
When police arrived, she said she was mad at the officer for turning her down and didn't know how to get back in touch with him. At that point, Maria was handcuffed and taken to the county jail.